Please leave a like on the video to let YouTube know that I'm providing valuable content to my viewers. So in a previous video I made about dealing with toxic relationships, I talked about what are the warning signs that you can find. And today I'm going to dive a little more into those warning signs and what you should look out for in a toxic environment you might be involved in yourself. So the first one is a high turnover rate. This should be an easy one to spot. If you start to see that the groups and the people within the group are physically leaving or changing, that could be a warning sign. Now granted, this could be a recycling of toxic people out of this group, but if you start to notice these people are leaving because of a certain someone or some people, that is a clear warning sign and you might be the next person to get turned over. If you see people that are established in a happy environment, that invites other happy people into that environment, and obviously the inverse is true. If you're staying somewhere that emotes a toxic environment, it's going to invite toxic people, and usually in those environments they prey on the weak, and you do not want to be the weak because you are strong. The second one is favoritism. Now granted, when you go into certain areas or groups, there are going to be people that have tenure and have been there longer than you have. So they might have inside jokes, or they might have different ways they go about exchanging their relationships. But I'm talking about blatant favoritism, where if you do the same thing as somebody else and they get recognition, they get praise, and you do not, that is a motivation no fault of sucker, your own. And that is literally way, people out there that trying to tell you something. Having other people feel good while they put other people down. The people you want to look for are the ones that always want to put somebody up. So going into that, we now have the passive-aggressive or harassment talk. Now the reason why I include this, though it does seem fairly obvious, is that you really want to clear the lines when something involving passive aggression is put into place. Usually our knee-jerk reaction to this is to immediately respond in some sort of negative way, when in reality, to not ourselves be involved in this toxic environment, there should be a way that we could try to clear the lines of communication. Was what somebody else said really being passive aggressive? Was it something that maybe they just said and misunderstood and didn't mean to say something like that to you? Now it's always good to have a mediator that can also help be the one to say, hey, you said this to so-and-so, did you really mean it? 9 out of 10 times, someone like that will say, oh no, it was an accident. But if you see it as a continuing occurrence, even after this talk of communication, it is not worth your time, and you should just pass on that person to somebody else unless you believe they could be saved, in which case it's always good to ask other people in the group if this is something they normally do, or it's something that you believe should be fixed within a person to better promote a positive environment. The next one is the lack of growth opportunities. So what I mean by this is that if you are in an environment, once again being work, gathering, or friend group, everyone in your group should be working towards building everybody up. There should be nobody there whose sole purpose is to put other people down. The best way that I can give this example is when someone presents an unrealistic goal. Usually the immediate response is, that's impossible, no, that can't happen, why would you even think that way? This is a negative talk. Now going back to the lines of communication, maybe this person really did not mean to put you down. The key fact is to note that there are ways to go about being presented with something like this that is maybe outrageous or unrealistic. It is trying to understand from that person presenting this unrealistic goal, whether it's yourself or someone else. What is it that you really want? How can we break this down? And is something realistic in line with this goal something that you would be okay with? These are ways to promote growth and to promote openness within the group. You never want to have somebody not talking or not being involved because they are scared to do so. And the last big thing is circulating gossip. People love to gossip. People love to talk about other people, but a big key factor in noticing what gossip is when someone or yourself start to say things that you would not say in person to whoever it is you're talking about. It could also be a sign of passive aggression because they are saying things about someone that they wouldn't say or address to that person. That person should realize if they sense some form of gossip or other people talking about them, then that itself is a toxic environment. And if you're involved in it, maybe you're thinking to yourself one day, I wonder what they are saying about me. I wonder what things I've done that they've talked about in this light. You never want to be that topic of conversation, and I'm sure you never want to participate, especially knowing that you may or may not be inadvertently hurting the person you are talking about. Positive environments exist. These opportunities for growth, these openness groups exist. If you feel like you're in a group that does not promote any of these, then do yourself a favor and just leave. Don't feel dependent on this group. Understand who you are, what you bring to the table, and know that there are people out there that will love and appreciate you a lot more than whatever situation you may be in that you do not want to be in. Hopefully this has helped you better understand what type of environment you are in, and if it hasn't, please reach out to me and leave a comment, and we'll see if there's anything that we could do to help you get out of that environment. Until next time, please leave a like on the video to let YouTube know that I'm providing valuable content to my viewers, and until next time, I'll see ya.